All right, we are live. Good morning and welcome to On the Spot 947, where we sit down, we have a little tete-a-tete with some of the biggest and talented names in the industry, and we're also on their way, their artistic journey in the hopes of influencing and changing the world. Now, for today, we are joined by a UK-born singer-songwriter who moved back to the country and eventually discovered her love of music. So everybody say good morning and hello to Clara. Hello, Clara.
Howdy, guys. Thank you super much for having me today.
Most welcome, most welcome. We were talking offline, off the air, and I was saying that I love your accent, and and I wonder if it's something that you can just turn on and off like a light switch. Because some people are able to do that. Some artists who are born Aussies or Australians, they're able
Yeah.
to switch it off. And like people in the UK or actors, that is, if they want to adopt an American accent because they're part of an American film, they'll turn the accent off and then they'll just
Yeah.
go back to the UK accent when they're not filming.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's something I do too. It depends on who I'm talking to.
it depends. Well, great. I've always wanted to have an accent, but I'm born with this one, so I shouldn't be picky, right?
Yeah. It's a nice accent.
Thank you, thank you. Well, equally, I love your accent as well. So, welcome to On the Spot 947. This is your first time, and I'm sure this will not be your last. And you have an interesting spelling of your name. Was that
Yeah.
based on someone from your family?
Well, my mom just really wanted my name to be unique. And
Okay.
so, yeah, so she put an H in there to just throw everyone off. Just put a silent H somewhere to
Yeah,
make it a
right,
bit
right.
different.
Yeah, silent H. Everybody remember that is a silent H. You do not pronounce the H, okay?
Yeah.
You don't want to confuse Clara and her family members. Yeah. Speaking of family, it's usually from our own families that we get our love for music or
Mm.
anything down the line that would eventually have a strong imprint in our
Yeah.
lives. Between your mother and your father, who among the two of them influenced you more, you think, with regards to music?
I think during the introduction to music, I think it was more of my dad.
Uh-huh.
But because my dad, because he used to collect vinyl records a lot, that's why I have these up my wall. These are my dad's collection.
Nice, nice, nice.
So he used to collect a lot, and he used to play the music a lot at home. But after my dad passed away, he passed away when I was very young. So my mom
Hmm.
continued to um, help that passion and that love for music grow. So I feel like they equally did a lot to get me into music.
Get into music. Great. It's wonderful. Here in the Philippines, we would also be influenced by the music that our parents play, and usually the music that our parents play would be much more of a classic these days.
Yeah.
And we get to hear them on the weekend, like when everyone's not doing anything at the home. You'll hear. For my part, I will hear a little bit of classical music from my mom. That's Maria Lanza. Sometimes she would play a little Johnny Mathis. My dad would change it up and go to Perry Como. So it's
It's a
nice.
mix.
Yeah, it is a mix, and on top of that, our own musical preferences, and it becomes its very own melting pot of sorts.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to be introduced and to open ourselves up more to music. You started playing the guitar at the age of 11. That's pretty early. One thing I
Yeah.
know for sure was I was not playing any musical instrument at that age. I was so busy being a kid with video games and other kids. I was wondering, what is it about the guitar that drew you in, and probably I don't know, maybe not the piano.
To be completely honest, it was my brother because
Oh,
my brother, he and I at the time we were very, very competitive. So every time that he would want to do something new, I wanted to do it too, and
ah,
I wanted the crown of being like the talented one in the family. So I tried my hardest to out guitar him. I'm not sure if
okay.
that's how I should say it, but I tried my best to to learn the guitar as much as I can so that I'd be better at him. And yeah, so that happened. So my love for playing the guitar grew out of being competitive.
Well, you can probably add your brother as your list of musical influences because if not for him,
Yeah,
you probably would not have been playing the guitar today.
for sure, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. But down the line, apart from playing the guitar, it didn't cross your mind to add another musical instrument to master.
No.
No.
I wanted to just keep it to just playing the guitar, but then my mom enrolled me in like piano lessons, but I
Hmm.
didn't fare that all that well because I really fell in love with the guitar. But so yeah, I dabble with the piano, but I my heart is where my guitar is.
I have a how should we say this? A little bit of a bias, I guess, when I was a kid. But I've always felt that the piano was geared towards girls. I don't know
Really?
why. Yeah, I don't know why. I've always,
Bit
well,
feminine.
growing up. Now definitely it has changed. But when I was growing up, I always felt that, oh, piano lessons, that's a girl thing. I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna do something else with my cousin, and we'll just shoot cans or shoot mice or whatever with
Oh no.
rifles, with air rifles or whatever. So that was
Yeah.
that was that was my thing growing up. Uh,
The
I don't know
things
what.
that you did back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. Back in the day, and back in the day, it's nice that music kind of came to you the way that it did, and I'm sure that has given you both comfort and solace in times when you need it, because nothing changes anyone's mood more quickly and more efficiently other than music. If you're having a bad
That's
day,
true.
oh, just pop in a happy song. It'll quickly change your mood.
Yeah.
Or if you need one music to cry it out because whatever happened to you really, really is tragic, and you need to go with the
Get it
flow
out.
of that
Yeah.
tragic event. Yeah, put on some sappy music and I'll just cry it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Um, is there like a challenge for you, let's say when you pick a song to cover? Oh, wait, more like, how do you pick a song to cover? Do you base it on because a lot of people are singing that and you want to do your own take, or do you go with the flow and you feel that this song has touched me or spoke to me in ways that other songs have not, and that's why I want to do a cover version?
I'd say majority of the songs, they're more based on feel. Like if I
Mhm.
hear a song and then I feel like, oh, I feel like it's a real connection to it, not just because I can relate to it, but
Yeah.
I just really like it. I genuinely like it. And then there are some songs that like are suggested to me by friends or by the label, and then we just collectively decide, oh, that's a really good song. Maybe we should cover it. Maybe we should try to make it our own, try to put a bit of a twist on it.
Hmm.
But yeah, majority of it is really by feel. And yeah, because there are some songs that I heard from when I was a kid and I hadn't heard them in like 10, 15 years. And then all of a sudden I heard them on the radio. And then I
Yeah.
was like, oh, I remember that song, but I haven't heard that song in such a long time, but it stuck with me, even though it's been that many years. So maybe I should give it a try. So yeah, it's a mix of how it all came to be.
Right. So it's like it was like a 50-50 decision.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. When you sing covers, do you find it difficult to distance yourself from the original singer? Because sometimes, admittedly, if you hear sometimes other people who do cover versions, even the original ad libs get to be sung the way that they are
Yeah.
when other people do covers. So do you kind of like put a wall and say, "All right, before I sing this, I need to sing it differently than the original singer"?
Yeah. I would say I do that, but the thing is, like, the way my process is, I listen to a song, I leave it playing even while I sleep for
Okay.
for like 2 nights, 3 nights, and then when I like actually sit down to try and put myself into the song, I only allow myself to listen to it for another 8 times, and then
Hmm.
after that, I don't listen to the song ever again at all. I mean, before the recording, and so I feel like I do listen to it a lot, but then before the recording, I distance myself just so that I don't end up copying it like exactly like you said, like that, even to the ad libs,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
down to the T. But yeah,
Right,
so
right,
I
right.
try to keep a distance.
Well, that's great. That's a good process. At least you allow yourself to kind of like allow the song to sink in
Yeah,
and then, marinate a little bit. That's for cooking reference.
yeah,
Marinate, and then when you're ready, you just serve it. the way that
Yeah.
you should. Yeah. Do you have any particular like go-to artists that you usually cover?
I'd say not really. I
Okay.
like a lot of different songs. I try not to stick to one because I feel like if I do that, then I might just end up wanting to do their whole album, and then my label will be in big trouble because that's a lot of copyright stuff to fix. So
Right. Right.
I try to just, whatever I hear, whatever I feel, that's whoever I hear and whoever I feel, that's who I'll just like figure out if I want to cover their song.
Good. Currently, you do have, if I got the numbers right, you have 4 albums out. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Or
Sorry, I don't keep track of my own albums. I know.
I'm trying my best to not be bad at math, but
I think it's 4.
yeah.
Maybe.
I know it's 4. You do have a single that you've released now.
Yeah.
It is a cover of a very popular Air Supply song. It's part of the newly released album that's entitled Acoustic Now. And it lends itself very well because it has that serene quality that the original song doesn't give us. Because the original song, it's very grand, it's very majestic when you say goodbye. Yours is more like it's very intimate and it's very personal. Yes, I am saying goodbye, but with a touch of hope that if it may be goodbye now, it might actually be hello tomorrow. So that's that's one thing that I like about your version. And added trivia, by the way, and this is probably gonna date me, but
Oh,
the original Air Supply track was also used in an American soap opera that's called One Life to Live. I used to watch this on cable back in the day, back in the 90s, and they have a great soundtrack. And you may wanna check it out. There might be some songs that, that you think of covering. Yeah. So going back to your song, to your Air Supply cover of Goodbye, that was also, I take it, a joint decision between you and the label to decide that that's the song that you want to cover.
Very much so. The label introduced it to me, and like it took a bit of convincing because for a while I wasn't quite sure because I hadn't it wasn't one of those songs that I heard and then like fell in love instantly. But it's like for me, the song Goodbye was one of those songs that you have to listen over like 2 to 3 more times for it to be like, oh, that's a really nice song. So it's not one that I fell in love with straight away, but I did love it like after I heard it a bunch of times, and then we just decided to let's give it a try. But I was extremely worried because I know it's a very famous song, and I didn't want to like butcher it. I feel like that was my biggest fear with that song. I didn't want to butcher it. I didn't want to copy it. It's just like I didn't want people to think that I was being disrespectful by trying to change it up a bit. So there was a lot of fear in making that song, but I'm glad we actually did.
Right. You know what? That also brings to light a fact that I guess a lot of listeners do not realize when any artist would cover any song, is that there's a little unspoken fear at the back of your head that plays in the back of your head that if I do this, I hope I will not be compared too much to the original.
Yeah.
I hope that people will like it, no matter how different and no matter how deconstructed my version is. We always, you would always want that the listeners appreciate the effort that you put into the song. But of course, you not only do covers, you also write your own material.
Yeah,
right?
I do.
For people who are interested in getting the album, is it purely a cover album, or are there also originals in the album?
So for this specific album, it's completely covers. But for the next one that I'll be releasing next year, that'll be completely originals, which is another scary,
which is equally a scary thing in itself as well. Yeah. I was wondering about your process when you do write a song. Which comes to you first? Would that be the music or the lyrics? You
This
probably
question.
been that question many times, but
Yeah.
for my own personal curiosity, since I also do a little bit of songwriting myself, so I was wondering, for other people, which one comes first for you?
For me, it actually just depends. It's never ever the same process. Sometimes the lyrics comes first, sometimes the melody comes first. Sometimes, like I hear, because most of my songs are inspired by experience and like not only mine but experiences of my friends, so stories of my friends. So when I hear like a friend tell me they went through this, they did this, they felt that, I all
Mhm.
of a sudden feel that too, and then that sometimes makes the melody come first because I want it to sound sad, or I want it to sound very sensual, or I want it to sound really happy. So it depends, but sometimes like I read a good book or I see a good movie and then the lyrics comes first. So it really just depends on the mood and like what my brain is trying to absorb.
Right, right. Do you still remember the very first song that you ever written, ever
Oh
wrote?
yeah. Yeah. It was not good.
Was that based on personal or other people's experiences?
That was based on, I'm not quite sure, but that was written when I was, I think, 8 years old, and the lyrics were along the lines of, "If ever you need help, you can come to me. I have food for you." So that was not a great song at all. So yeah,
But that would be the best way to have people to come into your home and eat with you, and you can
yeah,
cook for them.
feed them, cook for them. Yep.
Yeah. Still on the subject of first, would you remember the very first song that you sang in front of an audience?
Oh yeah. That's another one. That's another story. It's my mom's fault. She made me sing "My Heart Will Go On" by Celine Dion, and that
Oh,
was that was my forever song for like a good 5 years.
that's a heartwarming. Yes, it's a song that lends itself to be played over and over again, especially if you're a fan of the film.
Yep. Titanic.
Uh, a very long 3-hour film, to say the
Mhm.
least. If given a chance, which foreign artist do you think you would want to sing with?
Hands down, John Mayer. Forever and
Really?
always it will be
Well,
John
of course,
Mayer.
he
Yeah.
plays the guitar, plays it very
Yeah.
well. Yeah. That would be an interesting, let's say, weekend writing session with John Mayer. You get to pick his brain and ask him things about his song choices, maybe even chord choices,
Yeah.
and probably might even, he might even be generous enough to give you one of his songs that never made his album, and you get to record it.
That would be a dream. That would
Yeah,
be a dream.
we can all dream, right? That dreaming is
Yeah.
free, as they say. Um, that's for foreign artists, but let's say for local artists. How about local artists? Have you ever thought about collaborating with anyone?
For local, I've always wanted to work with Ben and Ben, and I think Yang as well. Yang was the very, very first local artist that I ever wanted to work with, and that I ever like really, really, truly fell in love with. And
Mhm.
yeah, so it would be one of them. Would be a dream.
And she's a great songwriter as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, do you feel that the key to a good song? I mean, which is for you the key to a good song? A good refrain, or one that sticks in your head and never goes away? Which one do you think is really hands down the quality of a good song?
I'd say neither. I'd say a good song is one that you can relate to, and that like even if you haven't heard it for a gazillion years, and then you hear it all of a sudden on the radio, and then you sing along with it again, that's I feel like that's a good song, one that will always resonate with you, no matter if it's the lyrics or the melody. It's just one that will always bring you back to like a certain memory, or one that will always just like help you, yeah, bring along a memory or something like that.
Bring a lot of memories. Yeah, memories are good, and that's what song does. It will bring you back to a time where you felt that you were able to do anything else, that you were ready to take on the world, or brings you back to a time wherein you were most vulnerable,
Yeah.
and you found someone to lift you up. The one thing also good about being an artist is you get to do what you love. You decide, I guess, how a song's gonna sound like. You get to decide how you want to present yourself as an artist to the outside world, with the hope that what you do will resonate
Yeah.
with people, regardless of where they are in the world. Um, when you hear comments like, "Oh, I like your version of this song," or "This original song of mine, it made me tear up. It made me remind myself, when I was vulnerable. But although I'm strong now, it's okay to be reminded of that." Or
Mm.
it's more like, "Your song helped me get over a bad relationship." What effect does that have on you as an artist?
It really makes you. It makes you feel like, personally, I mean, it makes me feel like I've made a mark, that I've helped someone, and I feel like my one of my life goals is to always just make sure that along the way, no matter what I'm doing, if someone needs help, I'll help them. So it feeds into my life goal
Hmm.
of being there for someone, even if like I'm not physically there for them.
Yeah.
And it makes me feel really good, and it helps me sleep at night, actually. So when I get messages like that, it's always just like the best feeling in the world. And to know that you are a part of someone's life is just like there aren't any words that could ever describe how great that feeling is.
Yeah.
So
And
it's just an amazing feeling.
with 4 albums out, I won't be surprised that you get a lot of messages like that every day.
Not
Yeah.
really, no.
Um,
Just the occasional one from family.
that would be, the surprise email of all time when you get something like that. Since you said that there's no, it's not a toss up between music or lyrics, but would there be a toss up with regards to the venue of where you write best? Some people get to write, in a room secluded from everyone else. Other people can write in a car while they're driving. So, any specified places where you prefer to write your own songs?
I prefer my room where it's just quiet and it's just me, and because my room is next to a bunch of trees, so
Okay.
just
Ah.
looking outside, seeing the trees. I'm a nature person, so yeah, I need my gubat, I need my forest to
Yeah,
write.
you need a gubat. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I hear you. I
so
hear you.
here is the area. This place
And and
is where
and,
I
and
write everything.
tonight, I'm sure we'll also be able to help you sleep and write
Yeah.
if you're a nature person. Um, Also, as a creative individual is running, do you feel validation needs to be achieved from within first, or you get it by how other people react to what you do?
I feel like I won't lie. There are times where validation from others helps a lot more than validation within myself, because I feel like all humans, we all have moments where we're very vulnerable, where we doubt ourselves, even though like we know what we've done is nice or good, but we still need to hear it from someone else. I feel like there's that thing that you can't take away from people, where they're never going to feel the exact same thing every time. So it varies from moment to moment. There are moments where the validation from myself is all that I need, but there are times where I really just need a hug from my mom, and my mom to tell me that it's good, it sounds nice, or uh I need a phone call from a friend to tell me, yeah, it's good. Don't be too like picky, or don't be too scared. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I feel like it just varies from moment to moment.
It varies from moment to moment. And when you get to work with a lot of big name artists, that's in a way the ultimate validation. You were able to do something to that effect, because you were featured in an Evo Sounds album called Voices of Love, and you were there with some finest female vocalists that everyone knows. One of them would be Stacey Kent, and there's also Julianne Taylor, Olivia Ong, Susan Wong.
Yeah.
Would it be great to have to be part of another project like that?
It would be really cool. But a little side thing is, I was actually a backup singer for Susan Wong in one of
Oh,
her shows. So I did actually get to kind of work with her, but not in the way that I've always wanted, where like it would be a duet. But I did get to sing backup for her, and that was like a huge thing for me. And yeah, but it would be amazing if I get the chance to do something like that again, to be on like a compilation album with really like amazing artists that I admire.
yeah. And these days with the pandemic going on, live performances are a no-no.
Mm.
They're not allowed yet, and I'm sure that you missed it playing in front of a live audience, and seeing the audience, interact real time, to what you're doing, and to music that you're playing. Going back to the album before we wrap this up, how many songs are there in the album Acoustic Now?
There are 13 songs, and
Okay.
it's a mix of songs from like different parts of like moments in my life that I felt different things. And yeah, so I hope everyone will like it.
Oh, we do. We do like it. We get to play Goodbye a lot here. Are you allowed to say what single is going to be released next after Goodbye, or is that supposed to be a surprise?
I think it will be a surprise for both um, everyone and myself too. So I'm actually not sure yet. We haven't spoken to the label yet because the pandemic has brought upon quite a few delays. So we're still, I think, in the process of choosing what happens next.
Okay, well, we can't wait to see what happens next, and where music will take you after this. Of course, this is album number 4, and it's called Acoustic Now. And being someone who is not versed in math, we know that after number 4, number 5 comes after.
I've come along, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so
Oh my
we are
gosh.
hoping for your next album, of which you did mention it's going to be an all original album, and it's probably too early to say, the concept of the album or even the title of that album, but we can't wait for album number 5. And if you need to let us know what album number 5 is all about, then you are most welcome to come by and drop us and drop over. That is if we are able to do that, to be
Yeah.
physically present.
Hopefully.
Yeah. If not, then this is fine too. That's the great thing about technology, that you can either use it to, it can either work against you or work for you. But
Yeah.
better that it works for you.
Yeah.
I was wondering, where can our listeners follow and see more of you on social media?
You guys can follow me on Instagram and also Facebook. Just search my name. I know the spelling's a little bit different, but just don't forget the silent H,
Yes.
Chlara. So yeah, I post a lot of updates there where you can listen to my music. So hopefully, guys will visit me there and also on Twitter as well. So yeah, just find me on social.
All right, we will do that. I'll also be typing the details on our show notes so that the listeners can just click automatically and follow you on Instagram. So you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube, and you're also on Twitter, right? All
Yep.
of the most popular. Okay.
Yeah.
Will you be on TikTok?
No, that's one thing I haven't dipped my toes into yet.
Not yet, not yet. Who knows? Yeah. You might just decide to do that and do all sorts of Harry Potter cosplay.
Harry Potter stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
I know.
yeah, we were talking about Harry Potter off the air, so it's like it was
Yeah.
fun. I don't suppose Luna's in the room right now. Luna's outside.
No, but Perry's running around like a little crazy monkey. So yeah.
Luna's Clara's dog, and we probably would see a little bit of Luna in some of your footages on YouTube.
Yeah. Well, you'd definitely hear her a bunch. You'll hear her and my chickens and my cat. So yeah.
All right. You have an entire. Is that a zoo?
Yeah.
Of sorts.
Slowly becoming a zoo.
Of sorts. You'd probably have to charge people to go in and make money off that as well.
I should start that. I should. We have newly added ducks as well, so it's a whole little farm here.
Awesome. Keep us posted on the farm. Who knows? It might actually be something. Your very own, musical farm amusement park of sorts.
Yep.
With magic and sorcery added for good measure. Thank you so much, Chlara, for
Thank
joining
you
us
super
today
much.
for On the Spot 947. And come see us again. Come drop by, and it will be great to speak with you and to learn more from you. And also for before we go away, any last words for, let's say, aspiring singer-songwriters out there who would want to be on the same path as you are?
I feel like the best thing to say is just to keep going and
Mm-hmm.
don't stop learning. And the biggest thing is always, always, always keep your feet on the ground. No matter what happens, just remember your roots, remember where you came from, remember everyone who helped you get there, and just keep at it. Just don't give up. If it's your dream, you can make it happen. And I'm sure you'll find ways to make it happen.
All right, just like Glee, don't stop believing.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much, Clara. This has been so much of an enjoyment to talk to you. I can't wait to speak with you again next time when album 5 comes out or when the next single comes out. All right.
Yeah.
I'm sure you will keep us posted. So, everyone who's joined us today, thank you so much. This has been Cash for On the Spot 947. Till the next edition, we will be on the lookout for the next artist that we will be putting on the spot. Keep it right here. All hits Mellow 94.7. Sounds good. Bye, everybody.